How many day was that?
That was 6:37, 6:27 in the evening. I agree, other times, and that doesn't happen all the time. I was lucky, but I just still, we have a good fire department.
Joanne points out it was a Monday night.
Yep,
Well, we're happy that it worked well for you, sir.
we need to be positive, not negative.
I
Any-
think we have to look at the whole picture. Not, I mean, that was an
No.
isolated incident, and
You
I'm
don't
glad
look
we
through
did.
it, look through it, through negative.
So I'm gonna restrict the comments to the budget. 'Cause that's this forum's meeting tonight, is the budget and proposed budget. So thank you for your comments. We're gonna move on if there are no other further public comments on the fire department budget. Okay, now you're gonna have to forgive me with this line item a little bit, just because it's tough to read. 4290 emergency management, the budget was 285. 2325 was spent over $2,000 over budget, and the budget this year is 2325. I'll need to just ask you to explain that.
So the $2,000 equipment is for maintenance of the generator. It's supposed to be serviced every year, and again, but what's going on, so that the fire chief is in charge of doing that, it didn't get, the service didn't get done. Now, that's not $2,000 that, we put money in there for, because it's, you've probably been, if you've done some of the service calls in that, Charlie, or? I mean, it's had a couple. So, I mean, that's what the big line share of that budget's for, is for maintenance of the generator. This building, particularly the cafeteria, is the emergency shelter for the town.
Thank you, Sean. Okay, so total budget impact for 4,200 public safety, the expense was 266,720. The budget was 282,322, $15,602 under budget. The proposed is 372,341, with a budget increase of $90,000, with the largest being the $75,000 increase in the ambulance line item. Is everybody okay if we move past the public safety portion? Anybody need a break? Good? Great. Okay, our next general category is 4,300 highway and streets. So under 4312, highway and streets. One of the largest town budgets, or the largest, the expense was $417,491. The budget was $455,099 for an underspend of $37,608. The proposed budget is $42,073 for a budget reduction as a proposal of $33,026. We give good credit to the wise financial planning and expenses of the road agent, the foresight, the looking at things a different way. We thank them profusely. If there are comments from the committee?
In consideration of replacing Mr. Greg Perry.
It's very hard to hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry, I try and please you. In consideration of Greg's passing and having to replace him, there's wages in there enough to solicit another replacement, correct?
Yeah, I mean, right now, obviously we're not paying him.
Correct.
So we haven't, we have hired a backup driver who's driving the 6500 when we need him for the bigger storms. So obviously that impacts that line, but.
But the replacement won't come in when Mr. Paradise left at that number.
I would assume that would be, yeah, unless we were able to find somebody who's his twin brother. But yeah, I would anticipate that we'd bring somebody in, I don't know. I can't, we don't know who's, you know, well,
Well,
the way we posted the job last time, and the way we probably will post it again, is that the pay will be commensurate with the experience,
Okay.
so.
Okay,
You know, and then just to, you know, like what Tom had said, I mean, you can't budget everything, what happens if somebody dies midstream? I mean, that's, you know, this just all happened, and, again, we're gonna have to make it work, you know?
No, I was just wondering, because we had talked about, he had saved the town so much money, so I was wondering if that was.
You know, so some of the changes he did that have saved us money, I mean, you know, diesel fuel. He's got us on a new supplier, we've stayed with the same supplier, so, you know, that's a lasting effect. The company they go to get their hardware supplies and all that, we just put it in order there, again, we're making huge savings on there, so, you know, we're trying to continue, you know, the guys we have right now, we're trying to continue with the plan he set up, buying oil in bulk, not buying in 5-gallon pails, so, you know, that continues all the way down to continuing with, you know, we're using mostly a sand and salt mix and using the salt sparingly. So, you know, some of that is there are some lasting effects in there. So, yeah.
I think Joanne was saying that she hopes the hiring practices are carried forward with the new select, with the new highway road agent. Tom?
Yes, Tom Seymour, Newchester Road. I'm just double checking this number to make sure it's not a typo. I've never in my life seen health insurance costs go down. And compared to last year's number, this year's number is down by 12,000 plus.
So third down from the top on the page is health insurance,
Right.
down 12,575.
It struck me as being rather unusual.
It gets a little hard doing this and doing this at the same time.
Proposed budget for health insurance went down because I think the rationale I remember is that someone was on their spouse's insurance. Anyone else remember that?
Yeah, I do, but that was the police department. Did it pertain to somebody or more than one in the highway department?
Thanks, Tom, we'll take a look at that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments on the highway and streets? Okay. Moving to 4316, street lighting. Expense was 6,036. The budget was 6,600. 563 under budget. The select board is proposing 5884 or 756 reduction. I think, is there a reason for the reduction? Just
Sorry, I'm back in the health. On the reconstruction of highways, is that what you're?
where the street lighting went down, so.
Yeah, so it's just based on the numbers that, you know, it's actually because we switched over all the lights in the village are now LEDs, so it's actually, we're using less electricity, so the rates gone down.
Okay. Did you want to take a minute for the health insurance?
No, I'm just in my mind, I'm trying to remember, and I just.
Okay. 4319 is offset by a grant, so we'll go through that. The expense was 30,213. The budget was 14,000. We're $16,000 over budget. The proposed is $14,000 for zero increase. That's an offset with the grant above.
Yeah, so we did last year, if you remember for the paving, we broke up the highway block grant. We put 35,000 towards the paving of Bunker Hill, We withheld $14,000 of that to do to replace all the culverts on Bunker that need to be replaced, all the cross drains. So that job came out to $14,129.60. The materials of $16,084 were to fix Borough Road and Stonehouse Road after the washouts that they received in late December. So that was the materials that were used for those repairs. We didn't use, sometimes we've used the road reconstruction capital reserve to offset that, but because the budget was doing pretty good, we were able to, just absorb that into the budget.
So,
And then this year, we're taking the same tack, sorry Bruce. So we're saving $14,000 out of the block grant because, before we do the final coat on Bunker Hill, I can't remember the name of the hill now, just this side of you guys, the steep hill between you and Quimby.
I don't know.
Reese's Hill, no, not Reese's Hill.
The big hills don't announce that.
So we gotta put some under drain in there because that's, that side of the road, as you know, it's been boxed out and paved. It's starting to deteriorate, and the problem is there's water coming out of that bank. So what we're gonna have to do is cut the pavement, dig it out, put perforated pipe in there, cover it with crushed stone, fresh gravel, and run that water down and daylight it out into the ditch. And then we'll have to put pavement over that, and then